Welcome back to the Trade-Off Podcast, episode 19. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Alex.
And today, we're going to be talking about Trump and another person, which you would have heard of, which is currently going down the same route as Trump.
Yeah.
Has some pretty, I would say, strong opinions about how things should be done in the world. And he would like to improve the UK, which, of course, at the moment, I think we can all agree the UK does need improving. So, we are talking about, of course, this guy.
Mr. Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, who is the leader of the Bruv Party. Britain's Restoring Underlying Values is what Bruv stands for.
He's a funny cunt, isn't he?
He is a funny guy.
And we all laugh about this.
We do laugh about this. We laughed at Trump.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We all laugh about, Andrew Tate and what he's saying and the Bruv Party and all that. However, this is the day after Donald Trump has just been voted in for the second time as the President of the United States. And everyone said it won't happen the first time. And then they said it definitely won't happen the second time. Well, here we fucking are.
Yep, and this is exactly how Donald Trump started. He started putting out videos about his views, about how he's going to make America great again. Andrew Tate's going down the same route.
Yeah.
See how I said that? Route, not route.
Oh.
We're talking about the Americans.
Yankee slang.
Yankee slang, brother.
Y'all better recognise.
So, he has put a video out, Andrew Tate's campaign announcement. Now, this is 6 minutes and 42 seconds long. We're not going to play it all. We're going to play like the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But this is his introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen of the United Kingdom, my name is Andrew Tate. I'm the leader of the Bruv Party, Britain Restoring Underlying Values, and I'm here to introduce myself to you as the only hope and chance for the once Great Britain to repair itself from the eternal decline we are unfortunately being subjected.
I think he's got a good point.
The country's a shithole.
And it is declining. I mean, I don't see things improving over the last 10 years.
No.
I certainly see things getting more expensive. Crime rate must be as high as it's ever been, surely.
It's got to be certain aspects of crime anyway.
I mean, sometimes things do look worse than what they are because now we've got social media, it's more advertised in our faces. This has happened today, that's happened yesterday.
I was having this conversation the other day about people talking about, attacks and murders and stuff like that. And people say, you didn't used to hear much about that back in the day. It was a safer country. We used to leave our doors open.
Not
all
necessarily.
Right, but however, unless you were the Yorkshire Ripper, you weren't on like mainstream media outlets. If someone just got bashed to death in your local village, no one heard about it.
Yeah, it's just in the little local village paper.
Now it's everywhere. So things like that. But however, I think something that we can all agree, things that are escalating. Number one is knife crime and violent crime. It's getting much worse. You might have...
I know this firsthand.
Yeah. Ryan stabbed loads of people. No, Ryan was stabbed, for those that you don't know. But what you're going to see is, like, before, someone might get stabbed, someone might put a knife on people. Even when we were younger, the odd person around might have a knife.
Just a threat.
Just a threat, right? Now you've got kids stabbing each other to death. Like, there's huge things of like knife amnesty, people trying to get people to give up knives. But the culture is, and you've got to remember, when a country's in a recession, when a country's poor, there's no opportunities for people. If people are growing up, and it's not the right thing to do, of course, but you've got to understand it from both points. If people are growing up and they don't feel like there's any hope, there's nothing like that, they're just going to gravitate to what they see. What do they see? The other people in their estate or the other people in their area driving a nice car, wearing a nice watch. Fuck me, what do? Sell drugs. What do? Things they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, stealing.
Yeah, you go to the people, you go and do the things that the people around you are doing. So it's not necessarily their fault. However, it is definitely on the increase.
Yeah, kids are more likely to join a gang if they're trying to go down the correct route in their life. They're not really getting anywhere.
No.
They're seeing that everything's so expensive now. They're left with no money. Then they've got like a gang on their block, which are all going out, nice watches, nice clothes, looking cool. What's that kid going to do?
Yeah.
He wants to go and make money. He wants to look cool. He wants these nice things in his life. And that is what Andrew Tate wants to restore. I believe he's got a 21-page manifesto here. We're going to cover maybe 8 key points of that manifesto.
And number one,
is knife crime epidemic, zero tolerance, maximum deterrence. So, last year there were 50,000 knife crime offences in England and Wales, which is 137 offences every single day.
That's a fucking lot.
Mothers burying sons. This isn't good.
No.
So, fathers burying daughters. Lives stolen, futures destroyed. And what's the punishment? A slap on the wrist, maybe a few years in jail, right? That
is
definitely
it, though?
isn't good enough.
And not just that, because there's too many people in jail, You get 10 years, they go, we'll let you out in free because it's busy. It shouldn't fucking matter if it's busy. If you get 20 years, it should be fucking 20 years.
Should be 20 years.
Life doesn't even mean life in this country, does it?
No, it doesn't. So Andrew Tate believes that he can completely eradicate knife crime by using this deterrent, introducing BBC Punishment, a 24/7 live broadcast of knife crime offenders serving solitary confinement, no redemption arcs, no second chances, just the cold, hard reality of life wasted in a concrete cell. Now imagine a 15-year-old boy tempted to pick up a blade, turning on the TV and seeing a man grow old and die alone on the live stream. That's not cruelty, that's deterrence, and it will save lives. And I personally think it will.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be like Big Brother for prisoners.
Big Brother for prisoners. A bit extreme, but imagine seeing on a live stream the consequence of your actions and seeing how harsh it is. Would you want to go out with a knife? Yeah. I don't think so.
No. And what we've got to remember about these things, like Ryan said, a little bit extreme. However...
Because he's an extreme guy,
yeah,
right?
But what you've got to remember is, this is the same thing with Trump. Trump said some crazy things, right? Then, when he actually went and he put things in place, they weren't as extreme as he said they were going to be.
He just started to get the votes.
He just done it to get the votes.
Yeah.
What you got to remember is politicians, celebrities, all these people you see, public figures, they are a caricature of themselves. That's not the real person you're seeing. They're either more of something or a little bit less of something else. They're putting on a persona to get noticed. And what he wants to do is create some sort of opinion, whether it be good or bad, because doesn't matter whether people are talking about you in a positive way or a negative way. If people are talking about you, it's publicity. And that's it, innit?
And also, bad news travels faster than good news.
100%.
So that's why they do say these bold statements, to get people talking. We're talking about him now. He's online everywhere at the moment, Andrew Tate. Trump is everywhere. Why? Because they make bold statements. It gets attention. What does attention do? It gets interest. What does interest do? Start getting your votes, right? If they like you. So that's why they say these bold statements. So things won't be as harsh as they say, and maybe they won't be able to get a bill passed for broadcasting someone in solitary confinement 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But there could be something like that which would help prevent knife crime. I'm all for it. I know people dying. I know kids dying.
They might even scale it back and say, well, we're not going to do 24-hour live streaming of people that have committed knife crime. However, they are going to be in solitary confinement solidly. That's it.
And there will be some sort of way that you can see them, maybe not on a live stream, so you can see what happens to you if you commit the same sort of offence, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is good, because a lot of kids, you know, they join these gangs, they're trying to do stuff for clout, you know, they've got peer pressure, they want to be the big man.
Yeah.
They pick up a knife, they go out, they do something stupid. This will give them that second thought. Fuck that.
Yeah.
This ain't worth all the clout in the world. I do not want to be how that guys I've just seen on TV.
Because people don't see, they see the glory, they don't see the negative today. They think, oh, join the gang, all this stuff, you know, money, clout, like you said, status. However, when that person gets arrested, they go away, no one ever hears from them, sees from them until they come back out again, really. So you don't see the negative effects. You know they've gone, but you don't see what they're going through.
You don't see what actually happened inside prison, do you?
Exactly.
So I do think that is definitely a good deterrent, for not just for knife crime, mostly for most crimes.
Hey, if you're a fucking nonce, that's it. Go. Do you know what I mean? They should get the people doing the knife crime to stab the nonces.
Yeah, chop their dicks off, mate.
That's it.
That's what I reckon. Mate, you wouldn't be noncing no more, would you?
No.
Right, that brings us on nicely to protecting our children and restoring traditional values. As a dad, I'm sure Alex as well, I like this because...
Yes, 100%.
We have children, we see how susceptible their brains are, like sponges, right? How susceptible they
100%.
are to any kind of information. They pick things up quickly. They remember stuff quickly, right? They remember the good stuff and the bad stuff. So you've got to be very careful about how you talk around your children because they will pick up what is in their environment very, very quickly.
And also, very important, children they will copy what you do, not what you say. You can't say one thing to them and say, oh, it's because of this, and then have a different opinion. So it's very important that you are showing your values in your actions and not just in your words. I think that's a really important thing to say.
It's very important.
And I think that's why our country is so fucked.
Yeah, I agree. And one of the kind of big statements that Andrew Tate's making here is, did you know that children as young as 6 are being exposed to graphic LGBTQ plus materials? This is education. This is indoctrination. Indoctrination. There we go.
Big one for you, on it.
That's a big one for me, bruv. Right? Bruv party. So, this is what I don't like. And I've definitely seen images of this online, mainly over in the States. And I think they're trying to eradicate it now over in the States.
Yeah, he's just signed one of the first executive orders.
Yeah.
There is only two genders, male and female. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's important as well not to be exposing kids to especially 6-year-olds, to trans people. Look, you want to be trans, that's fine. I couldn't care less. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
But you don't need to start like trying to push that ideology onto children as young as 6, because now they're getting confused.
Yeah.
And you're giving them an option which maybe they wouldn't even thought about from as young as 6. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, if you want to go and be a trans, you should go and be a trans with other adults and not expose it to children. So that definitely needs to be eradicated.
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't be happy if they were teaching my 4 and 7-year-old about.
Well, my kids will be getting pulled straight out of that school. So
yeah, 100%.
Let's be crystal clear. All LGBTQ plus propaganda will be banned from schools. Classrooms will no longer be battlegrounds for ideological warfare. Totally agree with that. I've thought about this since day one. As soon as I saw those silly images online and those reels on Instagram of transgender dances and half-naked people in primary schools in America, I actually could not believe it.
Mental, isn't it?
It is
absolutely mental.
However, school is for learning to read, write, and maths.
You've got to be careful, and this is obviously, we're using a platform here. People are going to agree with us, people are going to disagree with us. However, you've got to be careful because, you know, it's almost like you're not allowed opinions anymore. If you have an opinion about something, you're a homophobe or a transphobe. So, not at all. I don't have a problem with anyone doing anything that makes them happy at all. Like, generally don't. As long as you're not hurting anyone else. Yeah. However, I don't think it's essential for children to understand that and learn about that, because they're not going to understand it. When their brain's formed enough and they're old enough to make their own decisions and understand what it means, they don't even understand sexuality yet, let alone someone being trapped in another body.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't make sense to them.
It's hard to understand in general.
My son can't even follow the fucking plot of Paddington. Do you know what I mean? So we're not going to be teaching about trans.
Yeah, we don't be exposing kids to things they don't need to be exposed to.
And not just that. It's you have the basic core principles and stuff like that, which are good. And I believe, like we just said, it should be allowed. It shouldn't be banned. People should be allowed to be what they want. However, I draw the line at people pretending they're cats. There are kids in schools pretending they're fucking cats, called furries, aren't they?
Yeah, I see son identified the other day as a broccoli, which I think when you get to that point, you do need to start thinking this person does have mental health issues. Yeah. Because why on earth would you want to identify as a broccoli?
But this is another thing about, and we'll come on to one of the other points about kind of restoring some strength and masculinity in the country. Because I'll tell you what would have happened if I'd have told my dad I was a cat. He'd open the front door, took all my clothes off, kicked me out of it.
Yeah, go be a fucking cat.
Put a litter tray outside and some cat food and gone, go be a fucking cat then, mate. I'll tell you what, I'd have been knocking that door again in 2 hours going, Dad, can I come back in, please? Yeah. I've changed my mind, I'm not a cat.
2 minutes, mate.
Yeah.
Ran around the streets naked, shitting in a little box. You lasted 2 hours, bro.
I'm not a cat, I've changed my mind. Right? To which point my dad would have said, you made your choice, you're out there for the night. Right? So that's how we solve these problems. Bring back bullying. Bring back bullying. People ain't fucking bullied enough. Because in my school, if someone had come in dressed as a cat, they'd have been beat up, they'd have gone home, they'd have come back tomorrow in their uniform, completely fucking normal.
Well, I think the country's getting too soft, and as what you said, people are worried about saying things to hurt people's feelings. Yeah. But where do you draw the line of that? Someone's identifying as a cat. Come on, man. You're a human. You can identify as what you like, I suppose. But, bro, there must be something wrong if you think you're a cat now. Like, come on. We've got to be realistic about this. That ain't normal. No. Right? So,
I don't know about you. I've never woke up and thought I was anything else other than what I am. Certainly not a fucking cat. Fucking hell. But look, you're allowed to identify as whatever you want. That's fine. But, however, it doesn't make it real. If I walk into a bank, I identify as a billionaire. Give me $1 billion. You don't have £1 billion in your bank account. Well, I identify as one.
Simple as
that. I want it.
Mate, if I'm driving down the road in a Hyundai and I identify my Hyundai as a Lamborghini, it don't make it a fucking Lamborghini.
Exactly.
Right? So, invest in where it matters. So, we are skipping a few of the points here because there's 21 points.
Yeah.
We're going to cover like the ones that we think are quite key points. Invest in where it matters. Now, this is important because the UK gives away literally billions of dollars, well, billions of pounds in foreign aid, in wars, which is a little bit... If you're funding wars, what is the other agenda here? Because you're not paying for a country just to blow people up, right? There's obviously another agenda in the background, which we will never understand because we're not in the government, right? The government has other agendas. We need to fund this war because we can't let this country invade this country and it just fucking escalates, right? But if no one's funding wars, how can there be wars?
Yeah, and not just that. Point my dad taught me when I was little. Mind your fucking business.
Yeah, worry about your business, not someone else's. So
that's it. I ain't worried about Ukraine. Sorry, guys.
Well, you know what I mean? It's a harsh reality, right? But I mean,
there's been wars forever.
Mate, Ukraine must be rich because everyone's sending them billions, bro.
Billions,
mate. So this one here, investing where it matters. For decades, Britain has spent £14 billion annually on foreign aid, much of it going to countries that later send migrants to our shores, costing taxpayers even more. While we fund other nations, our own communities are being neglected. Nearly 1 in 5 schools in England is rated inadequate or requires improvement. Some areas face infrastructure deficits with crumbling roads, underfunded public transport, and dilapidated community centres, which is true, right? I mean, we look around, there's a lot of stuff that does need work, especially the roads at the moment.
The roads are fucked.
Meanwhile, foreign aid recipients often misuse these funds with little accountability or benefit to Britain.
Not just that. We have to remember that in order for an economy to grow, this is the problem. We want our economy to grow, so we want people to come into our country. That makes sense, right? The more people coming into the country, the more money's going to be made.
Yeah.
The rate of spending is going to go up of the people. Therefore,
people then want to invest more into our country.
Exactly.
Build more.
However, people come into the country that are not earning money and taking money from the government.
And then send it back to their home countries.
Doesn't work, right? And this is from a man who's married to an immigrant. My wife's an immigrant. She's not an illegal immigrant. She's an immigrant. She's from America.
So she's a migrant.
Yeah, she's a migrant, right? She came over from America. She pays fucking taxes. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
However, if she had come over and just been sponging over it, she'll go home.
Mate, the world is an open book, right?
Yeah.
You can travel and go and live in any country you like, as long as when you go there, you get a job or you start a business, right? You pay your tax that you got to pay, right, to live there, and you're contributing to the growth of that country. That's fine, right? But if you're trying to go somewhere to milk the fuck out of that country, trying to milk the benefits, you're actually
no good.
You're no good. You're not giving any benefit to that country, and you're actually detrimental to that country. And you might just say, yeah, but it's just one person. What about when thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are doing that? So we're all paying taxes, etc. Then these people are getting money given to them for free, benefits. Then they're getting those benefits. They're either spending it on just fucking shit just to live, or they're sending it out of the country back home. Yeah. To the country they came from. You know, look, I'm all up for people anywhere in this world, anywhere on this planet, trying to have a better life.
100%.
I'm well up for that.
Or a safer life.
Yeah, safer life, better life.
On that point, though, Joe, one thing I've never understood, 2 points.
Go on.
If someone invaded my country, I would not be leaving. I'm staying. And the same as you.
Yeah.
They go, right, all the men got to stay. You all got to fight.
Yeah.
100%. So when you see like the men coming over with their families or on their own, that makes no sense to me. That, no sense. You should be staying there and fighting for your country, right? To protect what's yours. And number 2, right, is when, let's say you're in an unsafe country, which is Afghanistan. I completely agree that if you live in Afghanistan and your life's in danger, you should fucking move. It's a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
However, there are many fucking countries between Afghanistan and England that are safe. They go to all these different countries, but they just keep coming. Why do they keep coming?
Yeah, why do they come?
Because they know they're going to get here and they're going to get what they want, basically, right?
Right, I'll tell you something, right? Last time I went on holiday, we got to border control coming back to the UK. Do you know the border control thing?
Yeah.
I can't go through the AI passport scanners when you got kids.
Yeah.
Because kids can't go through them.
Yeah,
so you got to do the big fucking queue, right? So we queued up, get the border patrol, and I say, does anyone ever come in and like literally they've stuck on a plane or whatever? He goes, well, not like that. I'll tell you what happens, he said. Well, I couldn't believe it. He told me everything. He said, what happens is these people in another country, their software's not as good as ours. So they can get on the plane with a fake passport, right? So what happens is, like, literally 20 of them will get on a plane with a fake passport. Then they got a handler on that plane. Now, what they do, 20 of them, once they're on the flight, they sneak their passports, right, to the handler. So he's got, like, 20 passports in his bag. He comes off the flight first, right? He gets off. He goes to border control. He fucks off, right? Done, right? He's got a real passport, so he can get through to England. He's out. The other 20 get off the plane, and they all wait in the toilet together for as long as they can until security finally go and get them. By the time security go and get them, the handler's gone, so you can't get in trouble. And they say, we ain't got a passport. But where'd you get on your flight? Well, we got on here. How'd you get on? Don't know. Where's your passport? Don't know. And he said after they've been questioned for like an hour each, so this takes a series of days, they then get put up in a hotel. So they get taken out of the airport now. They get put in a hotel, and that's it. He said they're gone. No one knows their names, right? Because they haven't got any paperwork on them. No one knows their real names. No one knows where they are, what they're doing, where they're living. We don't know whether they're criminals or just come out of prison. We don't know if they're coming to work. We don't know any of their intentions. That's it. They're in.
That seems like the worst system in the world.
They are in. They are now in the UK roaming around, and we don't know who they are. So if someone wants to come to the UK, surely there should be like a background check. They should have some sort of
Yeah, of
documents,
course.
obviously a real passport. You say, look, I'm coming here to work with my family. We've got a job lined up already. We're going to start a business. Fine, let them in.
come in.
There's no problems with that. But you can't be letting in criminals, grooming gangs, all that shit. You can't be doing that. That's bad.
It is bad.
There needs to be a more stringent system, which is literally going through the migrants that want to come over with a fine tooth comb, so you know exactly who they are and who we're letting in. And that is what Andrew Tate's proposing. I am kind of for that. Some of these things are a bit extreme, but a lot of them, I think a lot of us are thinking, but we ain't saying.
Yeah.
So next one, healthcare. So if you are a British citizen, right, and you're a taxpayer, you're number one in line for healthcare. So you should be. You're
Makes
paying.
sense.
You're paying for it.
You're paying for it.
Your tax is paying for the healthcare. If you are a British passport holder,
But
right,
don't pay any tax.
but don't pay any tax, you're still second in line. So you're still getting free healthcare, right? Even though you don't pay tax. Everyone else is third in line. So you're like least priority. And I think that's pretty fair as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Waiting times are at all-time high. There's 7.6 million people waiting for treatment as of 2023. Yet billions are spent on treating individuals who have never contributed to the system. Again, this is, to me, I'm reading this.
Just common sense.
It is just common sense.
It is just common sense.
It's just common sense. And look, Andrew Tate, he's got his bad points.
Yes. Love him or hate him.
He's got his good points. Mostly women don't like him because of lots of stuff that's been dragged through the public eye on news and on social media, right? Yes, we understand that, we get that. But you can't argue with the man on some of these points. They're pretty good. And like I say, a lot of us are thinking it, but no one is saying it. And this is exactly how Trump started off. He was saying what everyone was thinking.
Yeah.
No one had the bollocks to say it. This guy has, right? What's the next one? Accountability in government. Did you know that over 30% of MPs fail to meet basic attendance standard? Lazy bastards.
Imagine just not turn up to work.
Just don't turn up, yeah. These are the people meant to lead us, to fight for us. They're not even showing up.
You
It's
do
simple.
see that though a lot of the time. They have a vote or whatever, and it's fucking half empty. Or they're all like, vote.
Shake their paper.
Yeah, shake the paper.
in
Or
House of Commons.
One of them makes a really shit posh man joke, and they're like, hey,
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
the fuck up, do your job.
Then they go back to the pub at lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's why the pubs are packed. You drive around London, right? Literally 12:30, midday, all people in suits in pubs. Honestly, it's fucking crazy. How are you in the pub during the middle of the day? Why? Because these are all the fucking posh twats that all went to the private schools, and then all their little mates, they get their mates into Labour Party, where really none of them ever run a business, none of them ever done proper deals in their life, none of them got a clue. All they've done is read some textbooks.
I tell you what, this is one thing that gets me about government, and this is a common sense thing also, and I don't know if everyone would agree with me. We have like the MP for, or like, you know, the leader of education, right? Head of education, or the head of healthcare. The head of healthcare has never run a healthcare business.
Yeah.
They
How?
The head of education has never been a teacher or a head teacher. How the fuck do they have any experience in that? You get people that are their mates saying, right, we're going to have a reshuffle. The guy that was head of IT is now going to come and be the head of fucking, I don't know, police. Why?
Yeah, you have zero experience in that department.
They're just moving their mates around.
And this is exactly what Trump's done. He's got people with experience now. He's
In the niche.
completely shaped up, in that niche.
Yeah.
So this person's got experience, 20 years experience, dealing with this. You're obviously going to have that job,
Yeah,
obviously.
100%.
You know what I mean? Obviously.
Makes sense.
Why would you give that job to anybody else? So Andrew Tate is following a lot of Trump's blueprint, I think.
Yeah.
When you're reading this, he is kind of copying Trump a bit on a lot of his manifesto. Like, this is a good one. Zero tolerance on crime. If you're a non-citizen, so basically you're an illegal, and you commit a crime here, no matter how small, you're gone. Instant deportation. Zero appeals. Of course, you've snuck into this country, you've committed a crime, you've been flagged now, you've got to go. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
For those born here, we've got 25,000 plainclothes officers in London alone. Violent offenders will face the full force of the law, and police officers will meet strict physical standards. Britain
I do
will once
think
again
that.
be a safe place to walk, to live, to thrive.
Do you know what I saw?
Stricter punishment. No one's going to
I had
commit crimes
I
either.
had this conversation with my wife the other day when he said about the strict, a strict physical standard, right? I was in Tesco's the other day, and there was 2 police officers in there, and one of these police officers, he didn't look like he could even bend over and do his shoes up, and I thought, how would this guy arrest me?
You ain't chasing no one, mate.
You're not chasing anyone. You're not going to tackle me to the ground.
Hang on, what were you doing in a donut shop?
Leave me alone. Krispy Kreme's in Tesco's. That's actually what I was doing. I was getting a hot chocolate.
Love it. Next, restoring masculinity and strength, the foundation of a thriving nation.
Here we are, as the father of boys.
Yes. And I like this one. Bringing boxing back into schools. Wrestling. Perfect. back in my granddad's day, and maybe on the cusp of my dad's day, when they were at school, they used to do boxing at school. That was a compulsory sport. And I think that's good. Not to create violence, but this creates disciplined men.
Yeah, 100%.
Not violent men.
Calculated men.
This is men that are channeling, if there is a few angry people, they're channeling it in the right way.
Well, think about all the things that a sport such as boxing does. You know, we both used to box. Never done wrestling. I watched a bit of WWE, messed around with my mates when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but I do like Muay Thai now. It teaches a whole different thing. The main thing it teaches you is to be calm under pressure. That's it. And number two, do you know what I don't have to carry? A knife. Why? Because I'll kick someone in the fucking head. That's why. I don't need a knife, right? So if you're confident in your skills and you don't feel like you are at risk, you don't feel vulnerable, that you can't protect yourself, then why would you carry a knife?
Exactly.
That's it. These people are just, although they won't admit it, they are scared. That's why they carry a knife. They need to protect themselves. They're scared someone else is going to have a knife. So
Cowards,
I've got to have a
mate.
knife.
Just cowards. So here we have strength, both physical and moral, is the foundation of every great nation.
Yep.
Britain's revival starts with restoring the virtues of masculinity, discipline, responsibility, and courage. Strong men don't just build strong nations, they inspire them. And Britain's men will lead the way. Britain needs warriors, not warriors.
I like that line. That sounds like an Alan Sugar line.
Yeah.
I need workers, not shirkers.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I like it. I do like it, and the image is quite good, isn't it? Look at this. You got some dude with some boxing gloves. I love it. And a bit of a boxing match. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's it.
So basically, the root cause is you go back to the schools. You teach children correctly.
Yeah.
Discipline. Educate them properly. Not about the wrong things. They should be doing boxing instead of being shown transgender
Who needs
people
dodgeball as well?
coming into class. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Right, we can get boys into boxing, teach them discipline, because a lot of people think you get boys into boxing, they're all going to be beating each other up. No, it don't work like
Doesn't
that.
work like that at all.
You won't believe how much respect
100%.
boxers have for one another. I mean, I know you see on TV all the trash talk before, but after, great sportsmanship, all that's just to drive ticket sales, all that, before.
And even if they do have a bit of stick with each other before they don't generally like each other, usually there's a little bit of respect afterwards.
There is, yeah.
Most of the time.
There really is. So lastly, right, we're going to finish with, well, there's quite a bit here. New tax code. So a new tax code for England, which, being a business owner...
Simplified.
Mate, I don't mind that, being a business owner, because...
Not the amount we have to pay our fucking accountant.
You will not believe how much tax. Basically, the government is a 50% owner of our business, and they don't do nothing, right?
Exactly.
We run our businesses. We try and run them well as we possibly can. And then at the end of the day, you've got to pay 50% of what the business has earned to the government. And that's fine. Look, I'm all up for paying my fair share of tax. I don't mind that. But there comes a point where your business ends up paying about 50% tax, and then you're paying 20% tax on everything you buy anyway from the shops.
Then you've got to pay tax when you pay yourself from your business.
And then you've got to pay tax. It just goes on.
Forever.
You get taxed into infinity. It is crazy. You think, look, we don't mind paying our fair share, but come on. You've got to let us, right, just because we're successful entrepreneurs, you've got to let us keep being able to grow the business, because then you're going to create more jobs, of course. Now you're going to start employing people. It just helps everything grow. And you can't do that. You can do that, but it's more of a struggle to do that, where you're just getting taxed heavily all the time.
And also, what is the main thing that comes from people not paying tax? Well, people want to avoid tax as much as possible, right? Why do people want to avoid it? Because it's unfair.
It's just
right?
unfair.
If it was a fair system, you'd
People
get
just
more
pay it.
people paying tax.
More people
That's
just
it.
pay tax.
All
Simple.
these people that are just earning cash in hand.
Yeah, because they're trying to avoid paying just such the heavy tax burden on businesses.
What happens is, right? How many people they go, I'm unemployed, I can't work, I'm depressed, whatever. They get a council house, fine. So I live in that council house. All your bills are getting paid for you, the majority of them, by the government, right? Yeah. And then what do? You go out and earn cash in hand. So not only are you taking money from the government, you're not paying anything back to the government because you're not paying tax. It's a vicious cycle, because they're like, what's the point of me getting a job? Because I'll go get a job and work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my housing benefit.
Yeah, I've got to pay all my bills, and then I'm actually £20 a month worse off, or £20 a week worse off from working. So what's the point?
So they stay on their housing benefit, they stay on the dole, then they go work cash in hand. It's literally the government's getting nothing out of them, because they're thinking, fuck that, I'm not going to go and do this. It's too easy for you to get.
And that's why
it's too easy for you to go.
That's why people that have run a business,
I don't want to pay the tax,
should be running a country, because your business only works as well as your processes and as happy as you keep your employees and your customers. That's it. If you can keep the customers happy, who are the people,
you've got a great product,
right? You've got a good product, and you've got good employees, which are the politicians, right? Everything goes hand in hand.
Everything worked well.
That's it.
So we want to know, what do you guys think? Andrew Tate, the Prime Minister, living at number 10 Downing Street, England, he thinks over the coming years he has a 100% chance of becoming UK Prime Minister. Trump's done it.
Can't be any fucking worse than Richie Sunak was, mate.
Trump has done it. Trump has paved the way. He has created the blueprint. So we know it is possible. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
Let us know.
And we'll see you next week.